West office. How are
Hi,
you today?
good.
Lauren Fender with Segway.
Nice to see you,
So
Lauren.
nice
Come
to
on
see
in,
you
have a
too.
seat.
Thank you again for having me in today.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it.
Thanks for taking the time.
I know when we spoke on the phone last week, you said that you've actually been with the Western Mission Hills longer than any other associate here.
I have.
And that really just made me curious about how you've seen the golf industry change during your time here.
Well, golf used to be such a wonderful sport that everyone enjoyed, but it doesn't seem to have the same cachet. In fact, our sales are probably down 10 or 15% vis-a-vis when I first started.
Wow, that is quite the change. How have you guys been able to respond to this over the years?
Well, we've been hitting advertising hard. I kind of feel like the bowling industry is sort of the precursor to where we are with golf. So we've been hitting the advertising hard. We've had some great coverage in terms of the hotels and the concierge market. We've been in the hotel lobbies, in the airports, you name it. From an advertising perspective, we're getting the message everywhere.
Wow, it sounds like you really have some great coverage. Now I would love to show you how we can add some excitement to that coverage. I really think that's going to allow you to have a distinct competency that Segway can bring you by having that excitement when you start with this. And that's really what I'd like to talk to you today about, is how you can drive participation through adding Segways to your course. Does that sound okay?
Sure. Let's take a look at it.
Okay, great. And I know on the phone when we were setting up this meeting, we talked about how you really want to drive participation at your course. Are there any other business goals that you'd like to discuss in our time today?
Oh, I just need to drive participation. I mean, the advertising is driving interest, but I need to drive that interest into conversion and getting people to actually play. And if there's a way that we can increase the speed of play, that can be helpful, because that can allow for obviously more participants. And I have to do it in such a way that it's not going to put me in any difficult place with any of the regulatory bodies. This is California, admissions matter.
Yes, absolutely, they do. Okay, great. Well, let's make those the 3 items on our agenda today. Let's go ahead and start with pace of play, because I think that you're going to see that that's really going to play into your larger issue, which you've said is driving participation. So first, I was just curious, how many rounds are currently being played at Mission Hills on a daily basis?
About 145 to about 190 on a good day.
Okay, great. And what if I were to tell you that you could have about 40 extra minutes per day to be used for tee times? What would that mean for you?
40 minutes a day would give me probably four tee times per day. That would be 12 to 14 rounds extra per day. No, that's $1,200. That's what that would do for me.
That's quite a bit of additional revenue. The reason I brought that up is because by implementing just 4 Segways at your course, this is going to allow you to have that extra 40 minutes that you're looking for through pace of play. And now I would like to show you, not only is that going to have a benefit for you, but it's also going to benefit your customers.
I'm curious how that impacts the pace of play.
Yes. Okay, so by using the Segways, this is going to allow golfers to get done in about 3 hours and 15 minutes, as opposed to the normal pace of play, which is around 4 hours.
Okay.
And so with that, let's start with your customers, since that's what we're trying to reach here ultimately. They're going to have a 1-hour training session before they jump on the course. And so with that, they're going to be at your golf course for the same amount of time that they would normally be here. However, it's going to feel much faster to them. So when they're on the course, they're going to feel like they're really flying around the course, because they're going to finish a whole 45 minutes faster. With that, being on the Segways feels unlike anything they've ever experienced in golf. It's a very unique experience. You almost feel like you're floating as you're driving around the course. And so they're going to have this experience that they're going to be able to take back to their colleagues at the meetings that they're at. I know we're in a resort town, and just really be able to share that with them. And I think that's really going to create some buzz around the coverage that you already have here. And for you, as I was mentioning, the coverage and the buzz that it's going to be able to create, having this faster pace of play also equals more rounds, which automatically translates into more revenue. And the word of mouth marketing gives you a distinctive competency that no one else in the valley will have.
So where you put this into play in other courses, tell me what you've realized in terms of the results from bringing Segways onto the golf course.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, if I could show you this case study here, this is actually from Flatmall Dunes, which is the first course that we implemented it in. And I would like to show you this because they had a very similar issues to you. As you can see in the executive summary, they were in a resort town just like yours, and they had similar issues with their pace of play and driving participation. And they were able to see a 10% raise in their unique.
So they just put 4 on each course.
Yes, they did. So just by implementing 4, that allows for those extra tee times by having that one group that is moving through the course that much faster.
So what was the utilization of those Segways? So how much money did they actually drive?
They actually drove a 10% increase in unique rounds, so based on the number of rounds that you are booking and the price of those rounds, add 10% to your revenue right now.
Okay, all right. Well, how does the Segway work on the golf course? I've seen them obviously in cities with touring and so forth. How does it work on a golf course?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I have some pictures for you.
Okay.
So as you can see right here, the Segways are custom made just for the golf course, and this allows them to have the bags.
The wheels are huge.
Yes, the wheels are about 4 times bigger than the normal Segway, and this creates for larger dispersion as they move across the fairways. It gives more stability to the Segway and allows them to cover the diverse terrain around golf courses.
Where does the bag go? How does the bag go on the cart?
Yes, okay, so the bag connects to the cart like so, and it's just a little lever that's built onto the cart that allows the cart to, or that allows it to be placed on there just like you were on a normal golf cart.
And how does the tires and the imprint of the tires impact the course?
Yes, actually, they are much less impactful than the normal golf course. So not only is it going to impact your emissions levels, but it's actually going to impact the wear and tear on your course as well.
Okay. Well, so this is interesting. I think our golf pro would like to see this, and I think our CFO would be interested in this as one of the options that we might be able to do to drive some revenue.
Absolutely. Well, now that you've got a chance to look at the Segway design, could you see how this could possibly speed up your pace of play, which would ultimately drive more participation and would be lowering your overall carbon footprint as well?
Well, the carbon piece I'm not clear on, to be honest with you. I get the pace of play, I get the revenue. Help me understand how the carbon imprint.
Yes, okay, so these are battery operated and they actually do not have any emissions because of that.
My golf carts are battery operated too, so I don't have any emissions with those.
So, can they be gas off?
Okay, you keep going.
Sorry, okay.
That's all right.
So with that, this is because one of the emissions things, sorry.
Keep going.
Okay. Well, with that, this is not going to increase your overall emissions because we've found that a lot of players are choosing to walk instead of ride in the gas-powered golf carts in order to reduce their carbon footprint. So this is going to give them an option that's going to maintain your pace of play, but also allow them to be environmentally friendly.
Okay.
Does that help ease your concerns?
Yeah, I think this is an interesting option. I think my colleagues would like to see this.
Okay, great. Well, would your CFO and head professional complete your buying center for something like a Segway purchase?
Yeah, we would be the 3 of us, and I would have to see the impact potentially in terms of being able to drive the kind of unique or differentiator that would help us from a messaging perspective and drive more unique guests. And I need to know that the golf pro buys into this and doesn't see that it's something that's going to create too much of a tchotchke kind of environment to golf, and CFO is going to want to see a full-blown value prop. What's the cost of each of these? What's the cost on an annual basis to run them? And then what's the projected return? So we have a standing meeting on Friday morning. Be happy to have you participate in that meeting if you're available on Friday at 9:30.
Okay, great. Absolutely. I will come prepared to address the problems that your head pro will see and also with a value proposition for your CFO. Okay, great. Thank you so much. It was
You're
so
welcome.
great meeting
Thank you,
with
Lauren.
today.
Nice to meet you as well.
Can they be gas powered?
Let's go out there.
Okay.
We'll finish up.